Till next time, guys. 42 hours later. Hi. Hello, everybody. So it's Sunday, the 8th. Sparrow is alive. She is downstairs, just so you know. So I told a story last Sunday. I filmed that video about the sparrow and about God and the epic journey of the chickens and the sign of the sparrow. And it's this beautiful testimony to me. You know, a story that I've, been meaning to tell for like a year. Okay? About this, the chicken's name is Sparrow. Anyway, you really just have to go watch the video if you would like to be caught up on this story. It's hot. Shy, it's hot. In brief, a lot of times I've run into trouble with the chickens. God has sent me like a verse about the sparrow. His eye is on the sparrow and he watches over you, which is a song. Actually, that's not a Bible verse. The Bible verse is, we are of more value than many sparrows. In the case of my chicken, whose name is Sparrow, she would, oh gosh, what? What? You're okay. I'm right here. We're all right. Well, I filmed the video, and the very next day, everybody, gosh, Monday, my husband and I went out to the coop. The fact my husband was even home is the grace of God itself. Because I wanted to film the video of all the chickens snuggling with me. I have an automatic coop door.
I see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's up there. It's up high. It's up high. Girl, let's go inside. Okay.
Up. Let's go. Come on. No? All right. So Snowdrop comes out of the coop to meet me, and I'm like, why is there blood on your beak? I'm like, oh no. I see Buck. I'm like, okay, you're okay. And I look down in the bottom in the corner of the run, and there's Sparrow standing there with her back to the wall. I'm like, oh, shoot. I go and I look, and it's awful, guys. Like, she gleated and vent prolapsed again, and they attacked her. Pretty good, too. It's happened before. In one of those instances, they did peck her, but this time was kind of bad. I bring her in, I soak her, get the cage set up, get her all good. Spray her with the Veteressin and put some the Neosporin. Pain-free, don't get the pain medication. We're like, what are we gonna do? Because what happened was, I mentioned a few videos back about how Chewy sent their food, the food that I found in the world that works for them, that has better ingredients than the processed food. I got the bag and I was feeding it to them, and then I had a second bag inside that I would feed for Shy. So I opened that bag up. I was like, something's wrong with this. It's dusty, it's crumbly. I'm like, this looks old, like expired. Here's Kaiser shoes. And then I go back outside to check their food that's like locked away. And I'm like, this is the same. This is also expired. I was doing one of my videos about like flies and vanilla trees and all that. And I mentioned that the food was expired. I had some of their older food. I still had some. So I had that out there. I looked it up and I read that it's not the worst thing in the world to give them expired food. And Chewy said they were going to send out the new food. I'm like, all right. It takes like 2 days for the food to get here. I open it, and guess what? That one's expired too. And now I'm like, all angry and mad. I'm like, what am I going to do? So they refunded me everything. And so I look for the company website. It's like $30 shipping. So what I did was I went back to Chewy and I found a different size, the 25-pound bag, and was like, God, Lord, please help us. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for the food to come, which would be another 1 or 2 days, I have some of the expired food out there and what was left of their, last bag of food, which was kind of old. And like I said, I looked it up, and what I'm reading is it's like not the worst thing in the world to give them old food. It's just not going to have nutrition. So I was supplementing with the poultry cell, and somewhere in the back of my head, I was like, I really hope that this doesn't cause a problem for Sparrow. I really just hope she does not prolapse. Oh gosh, I've had to really just kind of forgive myself for making this mistake, because what caused her problem before was that the food was like processed grains, grain food, processed food. This was the more natural food. It was just old. So I'm like, okay. And so we rallied, me and my husband, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Because we ran to there's this local chicken shop, okay, but they never have what I need. Maybe that's Uruguay. But we were like, we gotta go. Like, what do they have? And they were very helpful. And what we decided to do is get the chick starter. Then that's what I've been feeding Sparrow, is the chick starter, which is all like the good natural stuff. And what I do is I like wet it because it's very like small. So she's kind of got like a mash. So unbelievable, right? The next day. Like, she hasn't had a vent prolapse in over a year. It was May of last year of 2023 was the last time this happened. Over a year. And the next day after I tell the story. So I'm like, all right, God, there it is. There's the Sparrow. Was actually my chicken. So this is the food that finally came from Chewy. Black layer feed, very simple, 17%, and it's got better ingredients than same processed grains. But there she is. There's her food. She's eating and drinking. Can you give me one of your little noises? Meanwhile, having Sparrow in this house has been really stressing Shy out. I gave her a bath, right? And I went to like dry her off and give her the cuddle, because the cuddles are very therapeutic. And I noticed that she was breathing weird, and that she was just acting weird, and that her abdomen was swollen. I'm like, oh man, this looks like something else. Like, this looks like it could be cardiac, like a water belly. Like, is she in heart failure? Like, I was really like, she might be in heart failure right now. And in that moment, while I'm sitting there hugging her, I'm like scrambling with all my heart, mind, and spirit. Like, Lord, like, what do I do? How do I pray? Like I was really like scrambling with all that I had, getting very upset. And eventually, in my heart, it was just like, let this go. You gotta let it go. You gotta let this go and understand that life is life. So I just started singing to her. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. I called the vet's office, and they saw us the next day, which was last Tuesday, which was that last little bit you saw in the video, the little like plot twist or whatever. Unexpected. I couldn't believe it. I really just could not believe it. We brought her to the vet, and he's looking at her up and down, and he's like, this could be cardiac or it could be reproductive. Anyway, he drained her like a lot. He drained a lot of fluid out of her abdomen. He said she was probably breathing weird because the fluid was probably building up to her lungs. So prolapse or no prolapse, because of it, we did discover that there's something else going on. So we are currently just trying to get her past the prolapse aspect of it. The problem is when she got the vent gleat, which is the yeast infection, great graphic, trigger warning, it cements to the prolapse, to the vent. And so normally it would be a process of using the Neosporin to try to pull this thing off, and that could very gently, and it could take days to get this thing off, right? Problem is she's got all these wounds, okay, underneath it. The doctor said, like, to just leave the gunk, I'm like, but it's on her wounds. So, like, it's kind of been a bit stressful. Like, once again, I have to just put this on God. Like, learn. Just like, here, God, you have to take my worry. You have to just cast your cares upon him. Because he cares about us. Every hair is numbered. Here, I have it here. Every hairs of your head are all numbered. He cares. He cares. So day by day, we've just been giving her an antibiotic and treating her for the wounds, even though the wounds are under the poops. And she's looking pretty good. Today was the first day that she did a lot of walking around downstairs. So I'm not here to say whether or not God allowed this to happen so that, you know, it would flex my faith or we would find the deeper problem going on with her. I don't know. But I do know that he has given me a sign of the sparrow every step of the way. And the day after I told this story to this channel, it happened again. Unbelievable. And yes, there were very specific things that led to it. But the day after, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say that he allows it. Is it our faith? Like, I'm not going to make a statement about why, you know? I'm just going to tell you what happened. Oh, poor Shy. She hates this. The other night was cuddling Sparrow to, you know, comfort her. And poor Shy, she started marching up to me like, God, she was crying. She was so upset that I was hugging Sparrow. She was crying. So it's day by day. That's pretty much the story. I'm really hoping we get past this, the vent issue. It's just a matter of making sure those wounds get healed. And then later on, we'll see what happens with her possible reproductive problem. You know, he mentioned maybe we'll give her the hormonal implant too. I mean, like, oh man. Oh, here's what I want to say to you. I want to, on one hand, tell you, definitely get chickens, definitely have a backyard flock. I also want to say to you, do not ever get chickens or start a backyard flock. But the in-between thing I can say is do not get these chickens. Do not get this breed. These are known as red stars. They're known as golden comets or red sex links or anything with the word sex link in the name. Stay away from it. They are bred specifically for high-end egg production, and it's cruel. You know, I thought getting Shy on the hormonal implants, and it seemed like the other girls were kind of gracefully going into their own retirement, but no, that's not what's happening. It's mean. They're very sweet, you know, but if high-end egg production is your thing, go for it. But for me personally, I'm like, I don't even want to buy store-bought eggs anymore. There's a farm stand down the road. I'm going to do my best. Like, you know, I'm not telling anybody what to do. This is just because it's horrible. I'm having firsthand experience with these guys. Seriously, if you have a tiny little backyard flock, stay away from these. It will break your heart. Some people are fine culling their chickens and not everybody is. And that's all I'm saying. But life is life, you know? Life is life, and one thing I've had to come to grips with is, you know, that's life. Like, chickens come, chickens go, and I know they're special to you, but so is everybody's chickens, you know. To be of good cheer. Yeah, that's good. Sounds nice. You know, it's very comforting when, you know, you're not alone with this. And so guys, pray for Miss Sparrow. Pray for my Sparrow. We're not giving up on her. She's eating, she's drinking, she's moving around. I don't know why she's shaking her head like that though. But we're in touch with the vet and we'll see what's gonna happen next. I have to just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And let God. I know that sounds trite sometimes, but when you need it, it really matters. We got this, God. I better go because Shai's gonna get upset. We'll do some hugs later. Leave, sweetie.